Hello again and welcome. This is Modern American Gangster wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. If you're watching this, I hope you're going to have a great holiday season coming up. And I hope you watch the Modern American Gangster Christmas special that's coming out. A lot of good stuff, a lot of interesting things coming out for that. So I hope everybody's having a great Christmas season, a great end of the year, and hopefully we're going to all crush it next year in 2026. So Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy holidays. I hope everybody is joyous and loving at this time of year, and we all appreciate the things that we do have instead of the things that we do not. So, Merry Christmas, everybody, and we will see you next year in 2026 with a whole bunch of new stuff and information and programs. So, I can't wait to see you guys in 2026. Please join me. It's going to be a good year next year. At least that's what we're putting out. Hopefully, it's going to be a great year. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I will see you next year.
Hello, hello, and Merry Christmas from Mr. Sockavello to all of Mr. Sockavello's fans out there. It is Christmas time, and this is the time of year where friends and family come together to make delicious dishes and be with their family. So, Merry Christmas to everyone out there from Mr. Sockavello to all of you. I love you and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays from Mr. Sockavello.
Hello and Merry Christmas! This is Modern American Gangster coming to you with Christmas messages, warm greetings to you and your family, and the wishes of Merry Christmas to you and yours. As we tick down to the end of the year and we move closer into 2026, we come to Christmas and we celebrate Christmas with our friends and family if we have any friends and family. I know some people celebrate this holiday alone, and that can suck. But hopefully, we have our internet friends and families and the people we talk to online, which can help us through these dark holidays. Now, a lot has changed in the past few years. If it's COVID, if it's the Trump election, and that's kind of caused a rift in many people's families, which is unfortunate. Maybe your family is filled with Freemason Jews and they don't want anything to do with you because you are on the side of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So, in the end, we will be proven correct. And that is kind of what the Christmas spirit is all about, is that we are correct for celebrating Christmas. And if you're celebrating any other holidays, then you are wrong. And you will pay the price, the most heavy price ever you will be paying if you are not celebrating Christmas. So when I think of Christmas, I think of delicious dishes, recipes, getting a bunch of soups and getting all fat and sassy and having a good time watching the good Christmas movies. We're going to list our top 10 Christmas movies. I've got Mr. Sockavello has prepared some holiday treats and recipes that we will share. And, it's not just the Christmas day or Christmas Eve, it is the holiday season that we like so much. The Christmas lights, the decorations. Hopefully, I'll be going out later and trying to maybe do a driving video and capturing some of the festivities around my area, as well as some holiday drinks at the Modern American Christmas party that is later tonight. And hopefully, we'll see Mr. Sockavello and many of our friends, allies, and closest associates coming to the Christmas party. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We get together at these times. A lot of us, I know if you've been awake and aware for a while, you don't have a lot of people to confide in and share the struggles of being an awake and aware person. But just know that I feel your pain. I understand how depressing these holidays can be if you don't have a lot of friends and family anymore, because the people with the most friends and the most family are just hooked into the matrix. And it seems that all family comes together at this time of year unless you question our historical record or the vaccines or the Trump stuff. And then now you are exiled to your own area or your own home base, as I like to call it. So could be a very fun time. It's also a very depressing time if you don't have a lot of people to enjoy the holidays with. But just know that I am here at Christmas time for support. If anybody needs help, I'll try to answer any questions or give people warm wishes. I know it's the end of the year, especially with everything that's going on with the Epstein files being released, the birth and dawning of the new year, which is getting us closer and closer into this new world order. But we're going to celebrate as best we can because that's about all that we can do. So, first of all, moving into Christmas, I do love watching my Christmas movies. And everybody has their favorite Christmas movies. Everybody has their favorite Christmas shows. There's so many shows and Christmas themed episodes to get you in the holiday season. Also, baking delicious dishes can help you get into the holiday season, as well as holiday drinks, alcoholic drinks, and things like that will also help you get into the Christmas spirit. Now, I got in the mail today a holiday Christmas sweatshirt from Mr. Sockavello. Merry Christmas from Mr. Sockavello. So I'm wearing that for Christmas. And, if you guys want a holiday Christmas Mr. Sockavello sweatshirt, I will leave the graphic in the description on Patreon. You can get it and download it and make yourself a holiday Sockavello shirt. So speaking with Mr. Sockavello, I had a call with him this morning, and he is preparing a lot of fantastic snacks for the Christmas party later tonight. And I recorded that call for all of you. So let's go to Mr. Sockavello now and hear what he had to say.
Hello.
Hello, it's Mr. Sockavello calling.
Oh, Mr. Sockavello, I saw it was you on the caller ID, but you never know. Someone could be trying to play a trick on you or something.
No tricks, no games, just me calling to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you as well, Mr. Sockavello.
I was getting some information about the big party tonight and just what's going on. What's up?
Well, we're having a big party, the Modern American Gangster Christmas Special Extravaganza End of the Year party. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a lot of delicious dishes.
Okay, delicioso dishes. That's right up my alley.
Yeah, I've been watching all your Christmas videos, and I think I'm getting pretty good at cooking delicious dishes. So you're going to have some competition coming up here pretty soon.
You are nowhere near the kind of cook that I am.
I know I was joking, but getting better.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's anyone who follows my recipes can learn to be a fantastic chef, cooking delicious dishes and nailing it 100% of the time. You understand me? Anyone can learn to cook using Mr. Sockavello's recipes.
Yeah, I was looking at them and I was like, oh, I'm going to make some delicious dishes inspired by Mr. Sockavello. I decided I'm going to get into the kitchen and make some delicious feasts for the guests that are coming.
And what are we having?
We're going to have lots of appetizers. I got spinach dip with the little bread, so that's good. It's mainly like the appetizers and things like that. We're not having a dedicated meal because we're going to be having alcohol drinks.
Oh boy. Well, maybe I'm gonna have one drink, cause I'm not much of a drinker.
Well, if I get to pick the drink, we'll have a great time.
I don't give a fuck as long as I'm only gonna be having one.
Okay, so we are going to be making Long Island iced teas, and it's just a tea, so it'll be delicious. You can have one of those, and it shouldn't interfere with your sobriety too much.
Yeah, just one iced tea sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's just iced tea, but it's a special kind of iced tea. So you're gonna enjoy that. And we'll just play it by ear. We're gonna have delicious dishes, dessert. You're welcome to bring a dessert or something.
I've got one final recipe, but I didn't want to waste it. So I'll be over at your place. We can prepare the final dish, the final recipes going, and then everyone will dig it.
Oh, can you give me a hint of what it is?
Graham crackers.
Graham crackers. That's the hint I get.
That's all you're gonna get. You're gonna have to wait and see what it is.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see what you have prepared for us. Anything else?
I'm just loading up. I gotta stop by the store and pick up a few items, and I'll be over as soon as possible.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see you. I got a lot going. We're going to be, the gaming systems are going to be up so we can shoot some zombies or drive around or whatever. That'll be fun when we have the two games hooked up so people can enjoy that.
Okay, that sounds good to me. I will see you later, and I will talk to you when I get there.
All right, Mr. Sockerville, I will see you very soon. Drive very safe. It is raining and blowing and storming, so drive very carefully.
Okay, I'll see you then.
And there you have it. Mr. Sockavello lays it out the way that only he can. He sent me some very special Christmas recipes, his homemade pumpkin pie. He sent me the recipes for his homemade wontons, which are a delicious snack you can prepare during the Christmas time, during the Christmas season, or even for a New Year's kind of party. You can it's the time of year to eat and get fattened up so that you can ride out the harsh winter that some of us may be going through. So, I think of Christmas, I think of Christmas movies, and now we're going to get into the top 10 Christmas movies of the year. So, if you haven't seen some of these movies, we highly recommend them. It will get you into the holiday spirit more and more and more. Now, when I think of Christmas movies, the number one movie that I think of is Home Alone. Great movie, great soundtrack, and It really, I put these Christmas movies on, and you could just put them on repeat on your DVD player and play them over and over again if you just want something on in the background. The second Christmas movie I think of is The Muppet Christmas Carol. Every time I think of Christmas, I think of Kermit the Frog talking about Christmas. And that's my Kermit the Frog impersonation. 'Tis the season to be jolly and joyous. Christmas Muppets, you can't go wrong with Muppet Christmas movie. It is great. The soundtrack is great. And I love to just put these movies on and play them over and over and over again. Then from Home Alone to The Muppet Christmas, then you got to think about Home Alone 2, which is a perfect sequel to the first film. And that also is a great Christmas movie that will help you get into the season. For number 4, I like the original Grinch cartoon, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And I like to put that on DVD and put it on repeat because the original Grinch movie is only 25 minutes or something like that. So it's a very quick thing. So if you just put it on repeat, it will play over and over again. And once you've seen it 3 or 4 times, then you could switch to the next movie. Which my next movie that I like to watch is Christmas Story. That's a great movie, and it is very festive and fun. And that's another one I like to put on. I also like, for number 6, moving down the list, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, and Phil Hartman. A great Christmas movie. He's gonna get a Turbo Man for Christmas. Everybody has probably seen that. It's a great movie. I like to watch that as well. Then I go into Ernest Saves Christmas. That's a great movie I like to put on. All the Ernest movies are great, but the Christmas movie is also a great movie that I like to watch and put on. I also like Bad Santa. That's a good movie to put on. I like Billy Bob Thornton, and it's got Tony Cox, who we've got a little bit of history with. I'm not going to get into that, but we all know what Tony Cox is famous for. Yes, that's right. Working with Christina Applegate and Elizabeth Pena, as well as Perry Caravello. For number 9, I like the movie Four Christmases with Vince Vaughn. I think that's a good, funny movie to put on, and it always makes me laugh every time I watch it. For number 10, I'm going with The Santa Claus with Tim Allen. That's a great movie. I haven't seen it in many years. I have it on my Hulu to watch, but I have not seen it in a couple years. But that is a good movie. I remember it was pretty good. Now, that's the top 10 Christmas list for this year. Now, I didn't include some movies like the movie Die Hard, which I think is a Christmas movie. I always watch it at Christmas, and I think it's a Christmas movie. Okay, the sales, it's grouped with Christmas movies. They sell more copies of Die Hard at Christmas than any other time of the year. So it is a Christmas movie. Another good Christmas, not Christmas movie is the movie Trading Places. That's a great Christmas movie, Christmas themed, which I also like, as well as Lethal Weapon. The very first Lethal Weapon is also a Christmas movie in my Christmas universe, and it opens with Christmas music and ends with Christmas music. It's a Christmas movie. So, other movies that are great, a lot of people like the National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation movie. I'm not a big Chevy Chase fan. I kind of don't like Chevy Chase. But the funniest part of the movie is Randy Quaid. He's great in that movie. So you can watch that one too. There's a movie called Just Friends with Ryan Reynolds. Is a good Christmas movie. He's like a rich guy that goes home for Christmas, and it was pretty funny movie, if I remember correctly. Also, Rambo First Blood. You can't have Christmas unless we have Rambo First Blood on the table. And if you watch Rambo First Blood, you will acknowledge that it takes place at Christmas time. So technically, it can be considered a Christmas movie. which I will accept on your list if you want to put it there. Another movie that came out a couple years ago was the movie with Mel Gibson called The Fat Man with Walter Goggins, and he plays Santa Claus. And it was all right. He's got a black wife in the movie, which kind of, I don't think of Santa Claus as being black, and I don't think of Mrs. Claus as being black. But we live in the diversity age of inclusion, equity, and bullshit. So you've got to deal with this horrible diversity world that we live in. So those are my Christmas movies that I like to watch. A lot of people also like the Harry Potter movies. They kind of have a Christmas sounding theme to them. So if you do want to watch those, I will not fault you for it. You can also check out mini Christmas shows. There's a lot of good Christmas Family Guys and King of the Hill and all the TV shows that we watch. There's lots of Christmas episodes there that can get you through the holidays if you're down and out feeling. So those are the Christmas movies. I really like those. There's also Christmas albums and music. I like the Elvis Christmas album, the Beach Boys Christmas album, the Nutcracker soundtrack is good, the Home Alone soundtrack is good, as well as you can just go on YouTube and type in top 25 Christmas songs and get all your Christmas songs that there is. So, next, moving on in our Christmas special, I know I didn't want this to be super long, and we do have a lot to get into here. So, next, I want to take it to Mr. Sockavello with his homemade pumpkin pie recipe from the seed to the oven, 100% all steps covered in a pumpkin pie recipe. And I had a piece of this pumpkin pie. It was by far the greatest pumpkin pie I've ever tasted in my life. So let's go to Mr. Sockavello now with his famous pumpkin pie recipe. Take it away, Mr. Sockavello.
Hello again, and welcome to Cooking with Mr. Sockavello. This is the Cooking with Mr. Sockavello holiday special. I'm going to be featuring a very delicious holiday dish, homemade pumpkin pie. And I'm not just talking about opening up a can and making a pumpkin pie. No, we're going to do it all from the seed, if you know what I'm saying. So here's my pumpkin pie. This was probably the best pumpkin pie I have ever ate in my life. It was delicioso. Okay? Now we're going to go through it one step at a time. So, for your pumpkin pie filling, you're going to need 15 ounces of roasted pumpkin puree, which we are going to make. And usually, when I do it, it comes out to about 2.5 to 3 cups. You're going to need a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, 2 eggs, 1 egg yolk. You're going to need cinnamon. You're going to need some ground cloves, some vanilla extract, a pinch of salt, and some freshly grated nutmeg as well. So, the first step is you want your pumpkins. Now, how are you going to get pumpkins? Well, you have to grow them from the seed. Now, this is what I have done. Was grow all my pumpkins from the seed so I could pick out the absolute best 2 pumpkins to make my pie. Now, after you've got your pumpkins grown, you want to cut them off in October, in mid-October, and then let them ripen up over these next few months. Now, this was one of the pumpkins, and perfectly grown pumpkins. So first you want to cut the stem side off so there's a nice flat surface. Okay, then after you cut the top off, you can cut it directly in half. As you can see with the you can cut the top off and then you cut it in half. Then you're going to want to scoop out all the insides, all of the grown stuff, so you just have the husk or the outer shell. Okay, now when you've done that with your both of your pumpkins, you want to coat them with some olive oil, both the insides and the outsides, and place them on a cookie sheet with some aluminum foil, because this that molten pumpkin stuff is like really hard to get off, so you want to put it on foil. Now you can cook this in your oven at 400 degrees for about 50 minutes to an hour until the skin or the outer shell is soft and kind of bubbling the outer skin. And you should be able to stick a knife in it very easily without much force. Now, I cooked mine on my barbecue, so they have more of a smoky kind of flavoring, but you can cook them in your oven. So after you cook them on, the 400 degrees for about an hour, they're going to come off and the shells are going to look kind of like they do here. Now the skin is really easy to come off. You can just take a spoon and just kind of peel the outer edge of the skin off, where the inside you can just place directly into a food processor or a blender. So you remove all the skin, any of the burnt edges, trim off, and just get the prime husking into that blender, where you will then puree it into a fine paste. Then I would recommend putting it into a colander with some cheesecloth. Okay, so you take your cheesecloth, fold it up, put it in a colander, add your pumpkin stuff, and then put it into a bowl. And there's a lot of water that's going to come off of this stuff. So you have to do this step or your pie will be way too runny. And you want that inside to be nice and thick. Okay, so after you've drained it thoroughly, let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can put it into the blender, blend it all up into a paste, and then pour it into a measuring cup and get your blender cleaned. Now, for the crust, while that pumpkin puree is sitting in the measuring cup, you could put a piece of cellophane on it and set it aside for now. So with the crust, you're going to want to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and you're going to need 1 cup of butter, which is 2 sticks. Now, a good way to do it is cut your butter into little squares. So you cut it down the middle, flip it, cut it again, and then dice it into small cubes. And you want it to be cold when you're putting it into your flour. So then you add a teaspoon of sugar, a little bit of salt. You throw your butter cubes in, and in my mixing bowl, I use this dough mixer thing, and I just turn it on low heat and let it sit for about 4 or 5 minutes, and then the dough will be made. So then you take your dough and you can put some flour on your cutting board and roll it around into a nice ball, where you can also then cover it with cellophane wrap, roll it into a ball, and put it into the fridge for about 30 to 45 minutes. Maybe 10 minutes. I can't remember. Put it in for 20 minutes or so until it cools. Okay, so when it chills the dough, you can then remove it from the fridge into a nice bowl. I can't remember if it was 30 minutes or 10 minutes, but I'll put it on the screen right here. So you put it onto your cutting board with some flour and equally roll it out in all directions until it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. Now, this thickness is key to the success of the recipe. All right? Don't mess around and make it too thin. It will not work if it's too thin. We're doing it a specific way. Okay? So you flour the pie dough, and then you're going to want to fold it in half. Okay? Once you fold it in half, fold it again into a quarter, Pick this dough triangle up and place it into your dish where you can unfold it and it will not tear. And make sure the sides are poking over and everything. Okay, now this is where it gets kind of tricky. You're going to want to get a piece of parchment paper and place it on the inside of the pie dough. Okay? Then you want to put down some uncooked rice or some beans or something um, into the bottom of the pie pan and really pack it down where the corners are secure. Now, the reason for this is if you just bake the dough separately, the middle of the crust will start to rise. And this keeps the middle of the crust from rising too much. Now, I had to trim the edges because the paper caught on fire. But just trim the edges if that's a problem and put a piece of foil on the top. Put it into your oven at 400 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay? Just until the top starts to cook. Okay, then you can remove it, remove the rice and the paper, put it back in for another 10 minutes, and cook the bottom of the crust. Now, it's not pretty, but it's going to taste really good. So, after I have cook the outer edges and the bottom, and I remove it from the oven. You want it to sit until it is room temperature. Okay? Where then after, we're going to take our pumpkin puree, put it back into the mixing bowl, add a can of the sweetened condensed milk. Okay, then whip it all up until it looks like nacho cheese, kind of. Okay? Now, next, add your 2 eggs and your egg yolk to this mixture and get it mixing. When that's mixed up, you can start by adding your ground cinnamon. It says, 1.5 teaspoons, but not all cinnamon or spices are equal. If you're buying store brand, you're gonna need a lot more. So I don't really measure it out. I just shake it in until I think it's good. With the cloves, they're very strong, so I would advise just sprinkling some into the palm of your hand. And then when you've got about how much you think you want, you don't want a giant teaspoon. You want, a small quarter of a teaspoon in your hand. Sprinkle that in. With the nutmeg, that's not going to hurt too much, so you can go ahead and sprinkle a liberal amount of that in. And then I continuously add cinnamon until the pie is kind of colored, with like the dark speckly of the cinnamon and the stuff. Also add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I just pour some in, but you don't want too much. So that is your pie filling. You're gonna want to mix that really good, and then it looks like a nice cheese dip when you're doing it. And it probably also depends on how ripe your pumpkins are, the darkness of the squash that you're using. And you want to make sure you have the pumpkin pie kind of pumpkins, the little sugar sweet pumpkins. Okay? So then after you've mixed that, pour it all into your pie dish until it is up to the top. I didn't know if it was going to bake over, so I put it on a piece of foil. If you take the water out, it shouldn't bake over. But if the water is in there, the water will kind of boil and boil over your pie. So this will keep it separating that water will it makes it a lot thicker where it won't boil over. Rub it against the counter a couple times to try to get the air bubbles out. Then you're gonna want to bake it at like 325 for about an hour. Maybe you could do 350 for 45 minutes. And when you can insert a knife in and it comes out nice and clean, the pie is done. And don't think it's burnt or anything. It was perfect, perfect, perfect pie. Okay, now look at this right here. If you can see that dough, that's what the arrow I want you to see is the thickness of the dough on the bottom. It is a true pie. It doesn't come out in little chunks. The pie pieces come out like it's lasagna or something. Perfect crust. And that is the super key to the pie. You make this and people will ask you, how did you figure out how to make this pie? It is so good. Okay, now another thing I like to have with this pie, look at that crust. Look at the crust. Look at it. It is perfection. Okay, now next. You're going to want to also, when you're getting this stuff, make sure to get yourself a pint of heavy whipping cream. You could use Hermes organic, only organic whipping cream, or Prairie Farms. Okay? Or any kind of whipping cream, it doesn't really matter. So you want to put, if you're going to serve the whole pie at once, you can just make all of it and pour all your whipping cream into your mixer and then add like a cup of powdered sugar if you're going to do all of it. I would recommend if you're only going to have 2 pieces or 3, just pour about a third of the carton of the heavy whipping cream in, or half, and then it's like, a half a cup for half of a box of whipping cream and powdered sugar. You're going to want to put like half a cup of powdered sugar in, add a couple drops of vanilla, and turn it on low whisk. Okay, leave it on low whisk for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then kick the speed up to like medium or high, and whip it for another 30 seconds to a minute, and the cream should form nice and thick. And that also tops it off. You can also sprinkle a little nutmeg on the top, a little cinnamon. If you want to get fancy, you could mix a little nutmeg and cinnamon into a dish and pinch that on top of the cream. It will be a pumpkin pie. You will never forget how good this pumpkin pie is. Super delicioso, if I can say so myself. This is the best pumpkin pie I have ever had, period. All right. That is Mr. Sockavello's homemade pumpkin pie from the seed. And I hope you're having a Merry Christmas, and I hope you can prepare this for your family. You can still get those little pumpkins at the store. You should be able to get them at the store probably well into January. So if you want a challenge, it does take a long time. It took like 4 hours, but it was super worth it. And if you've got kids, they will remember that always. Making the pie from pumpkins. And it's a good lesson to learn. You can also make the crust and use that for a chicken pot pie or some kind of any other kind of pie. It's a really good crust recipe also. So thank you guys so much for watching my pumpkin pie video. And I'll see you with the next recipe.
Now, it was fantastic. Let me tell you, that was the greatest pumpkin pie I've ever had in my life. Now, the cream was super rich, and if you're just 1 or 2 people, maybe you don't need the cream, but there was like so much whipped cream, I ended up just eating it out of the bowl, the leftovers, and then it will give you an upset stomach because it is so rich. So take it easy on the whipped cream. There's also, you can do ice cream with that. It's also very good. But Mr. Sockavello nailed it with that pumpkin pie recipe. My hat goes off to Mr. Sockavello for cooking such a delicious dish. Now, also during Christmas time, we have to share our holy day with the Jews and their Hanukkah celebrations of satanic witchcraft and occult ritual. So I thought a lot of people have branded me as being anti Semitic and hateful, which is not true at all. That is a false claim that Modern American Gangster is a racist, hateful person. So I called up my local synagogue and I tried to arrange for a rabbi to come into the studio here and record a Hanukkah message for all the Jews out there and everyone to kind of get the ideas of what they do at their Jewish Hanukkah message. And, the guy that came in here, this Rabbi Silverberg, he was kind of all over the place. But he did get a message recorded, and I want to play that for everybody so people can understand and appreciate the Hanukkah religion and holiday. So let's go to Rabbi Silverberg with a Hanukkah message for the Jews and Gentiles, as he says.
Shalom, and hello to all of the Jews out there. Currently, we are ending the year of 2025, and all of our deceptions are going 100% the way we all want it to. Especially our Epstein deception, where anyone who gets in the way, we will blackmail with the sex with children, as we have done for countless years and years before this. We make sure to do our rituals and to cleanse ourselves with the blood of the Catholics as a way of getting the protection of Lucifer and moving forward with our great Messiah Trump, who has been blackmailed many times by the Jews. Everyone tried to warn the great Trump, but in the end, the Jews have won. We are getting ready to expand the borders of our Israel into the greater Israel agenda. We are also making sure that our fearless and brave leader in Ukraine, Vladimir Zelensky, is also working to defeat the Christians in Russia. Soon as the birth of artificial intelligence fully awakens, all of the world will be rounded up into camps. Orderly extermination of the Goy will take place. All of the Goyish children will be put into our synagogue tunnels, and we will use the blood to feed the demonic entities that we pray to. While the rituals are taking place and the next great reset goes through, we're going to be making sure that anyone who stands in our way, shadow banned, blocked, suppressed, and deleted. All the troublesome thinkers will be killed and removed when the satanic Luciferian artificial intelligence becomes to awaken. All Jews then will know that the time is getting close, and the second temple will be construction will begin. This will be the dawning of a new age, and non-whites being exterminated, as long as they have not given their soul to Jesus Christ. So any brown person who has not uh, been hoodwinked by the Jesus will be okay to serve us going forward. Any brown person who does serve Jesus will be killed and eliminated, and we will sterilize them with our vaccines. Now, as the debt level is increased in America around the world, we're going to tighten our grip and raise our interest rates higher and higher. This way, we can get more and more money that we can use to buy children and adrenochrome and all the things that the Jews like possessions and money and beautiful jewelry, diamonds and jewelry and diamonds. And we would use this to blackmail all the other people who have any bit of integrity left. Now, we have fully gotten the brainwashed MAGA people to fully accept all of our agendas moving forward. Now, as we decide to move forward and arrest people for hate speech causing anti Semitism, what is this anti Semitism rising for? What did we ever do? We just persecuted over and over again. We don't do anything. And we will end up killing anyone who posts anti Semitic memes or anyone who questions Jews, Israel, or the Judeo Christian ideas that we are so fond of moving forward into 2026. As no arrests occur, some of the Goya may become agitated and upset. When in this time, the more vocal of the Goyim will be arrested and prosecuted for crimes of committing hate speech or anti Semitism. Anything we decide is anti-Semitic, we will lock them away in jails for years and years and years in order for them to accept the Jews as the chosen people of the Earth planet, in space, and all of that stuff. Throughout countless scientific universes discovered by us Jews, we are the most holy people ever. And if you do not accept us as being the most holy people ever, we are going to kill you, and we're going to starve you to death, and we're going to drink your blood, and we're going to drink your bones, and we're going to convert your ashes into more diamonds that we can sell in order to profit the most we can. Now, as the 2030 uh, Donald Trump presidency comes to an end in 2028, we're going to enable new laws in order for our great Trump to be a president for all of eternity. He's going to be the president forever and ever and ever, as long as he supports Benjamin Netanyahu and all of the other Jews in Israel. So it's going to be a great time for Jews moving forward. We're going to have lots of money. Everyone's going to get lots of money. And all of our goyish helpers, we're going to make sure they get a few breadcrumbs, but they will serve us forever and ever and ever. And there's nothing anyone can do because the Jews are so powerful. And we've blackmailed every single person that you know. And we've blackmailed them all with sex with children because all of these people cannot resist a 14-year-old girl or maybe even 14-year-old boys. And we were going to continuously blackmail them until the end of time, where all people are removed and artificial intelligence allows us to live forever, where we will never ever face God's judgment, and we are going to live and have our Hanukkah rituals, and we're going to light our candles, and we're going to drink our blood, and we're going to pass our sin into the chicken, or into the Christian church, any kind of animal we'll pass our sin into, and we'll make sure that we are going to be the greatest people ever, and we're never going anywhere, and no one's ever going to defeat us because everyone just takes the money, and they will never kill us or harm us. And if we are feeling like we're going to be harmed, we're going to get back to our Israel, and we're going to be safe in our Israel because no one ever attacks us or bombs us because that would be anti-Semitic. And we are also cleaning out Ukraine so we can continue our sex trafficking and our bioweapons laboratory, and our national Zionist arm of the Nazi parties will be continuously brainwashing any questioners of Israel because they love Adolf Hitler. And they don't even understand that Adolf Hitler was one of our chosen people that we got Israel from. We love Adolf Hitler. He was our number one person. And anyone questions us, we're going to bring up the Holocaust again. And we are also thinking about uh, making some new archaeological finds, raising the number from 6 million up to 6.5 million, and eventually 10 million and 12 million. And as long as 12 million Jews were killed, then nothing will ever happen to us. We're going to be free forever to do anything until the New World Order comes and we kill off all of the goy, and we are the only white people left to control the mass population of brown people, and we can clone as many of the white people that we want, keep them in our bunkers. We can take the children, and we can have sex with the children, and we can drink the blood of the children, and we can do absolutely anything we want because no one ever questions us because we're such great people. So this is a great Hanukkah time. Trump is making sure that all of the stupid fluoride drinking retard people all believe that Israel is a holy place, and anyone who questions us will be deemed anti Semitic, and they will be put in jail, locked up, and we will forfeit all their assets to us, and we will use all their assets to buy more and more politicians and to blackmail more people. Now, the Epstein Island is currently not open for business, but all of us Jews know there are several other islands that no one has discovered yet where there are cloning laboratories and all sorts of demonic entities and creatures that will give us power and knowledge so that we can make more and more money. Now, as we get closer to the money being worthless, we're going to convert the money into digital money backed by our microchips and all of our technology within the mRNA vaccines. And anyone who doesn't comply with our anti-Semitism awareness laws or any of those things, they will be killed and removed and starved to death. And this is our right as Jews, being such holy, holy people. So, to conclude our summary of Jewish ideas moving into 2026 and even into 2030, we have Donald Trump, Donald Trump will always serve the Jews because we have videos of him blowing Bill Clinton and having sex with young women and things like that, like we have on all politicians in America, and the corporate interest within America, and the stupid people will never look into it or look into anything. So we got to do it to kill them because they're animals, and we are the people who control them. So it's a very exciting time for the Jews. And until we meet again, it's me, Rabbi Silverberg, with all the great information and the Jewish stuff that you all love. We will talk to you next time, fellow Jews and animal goyim people.
Okay, well, you've heard it from Rabbi Silverberg himself. I cannot get behind anything this guy says at all. Christ is king, and as we know, the Jews hate Jesus, and therefore we shouldn't listen to them ever. But you can't say that I am not impartial, bringing in the oppositional rabbi forces in here to bring their witchcraft in here. I'm going to have to call a priest later and cleanse this area of all demonic entities and spirits to just keep those Jew demons away. And God, they are just an evil, evil bunch of people. But nothing I can do because it seems like our whole reality is tailored to these magic people. So, pretty disgusting stuff from Rabbi Silverberg. I hope we never see that guy again. And he's no longer invited here. I have revoked his being on the premises, and if he enters my area again, he will be trespassed out of here. All right, moving on to the next part of this Christmas magical festival. And also, when we think of Christmas, we know that New Year's is right around the corner. Now, what is better for New Year's parties than a homemade delicacy that we can't have all the year? Now, I had Mr. Sockavello come in and show me how to make these things. He is very busy with his catering business, as some of you may or may not know. And he decided to send me the pictures of how he makes his homemade wontons for if you want that for your holiday party. You know, it's not really a Christmas dish, but it is more of a New Year's kind of delicacy that I have at New Year's, or that you can prepare, anytime you want. If you want it for a Thanksgiving party, or a birthday party, or a 4th of July party, or any kind of party, it's a good little snack to make. And this is Mr. Sockavello's homemade wontons. Let's go, Mr. Sockavello. Take it away.
Hello, happy holidays, and welcome back to another part of the Mr. Sockavello holiday special. We've got another super awesome recipe here for the holidays, and these are homemade wontons. Okay, what you will need is a pound of ground turkey meat, sausage. You can use pork sausage or you can use ground beef. You're gonna want one package of wonton wrappers, one bunch of green onions, and some mixed garlic, soy sauce, and your spices. So you take all your these are ground turkey meat. That's what I like to use. But if you wanted to use pork sausage, or if you wanted to use Italian sausage, or if you wanted to use ground beef, you could probably do that too. You're going to use about a pound. Then you're going to want to get your green onions and dice them really, really fine. You're going to want to add in a big spoonful of minced garlic and some soy sauce and mix it up. We turn your mixer on and get it mixing. You can also add some salt and pepper, some garlic powder, any kind of spices you want to add, you can add that. Now you're going to need one package. It depends on how much you're also going to do here. I only did this and it was a lot of wontons. So, depending on how many you're making, if there's a big party, you can make a couple pounds, but it does take a long time to fry them, and it is a messy, dirty job. So, you get your premium wonton wrappers, and there are two packages of squares and one packages. So, you want to take your little squares and put them on a piece of on a plate or something. Then take a scoop of your mixture, put it in the middle, hold them over and seal them. Take a little cup of water, leave a little dish of water, dip your finger in it, go around the outer edge of these papers, fold it over, and seal it. Now, when I started this, I didn't really kind of know how to fold them over. And the best way to do it is just fold them into triangles and seal them that way. There's some other ways, but it's kind of hard. You have to kind of get into the rhythm of making these because you're going to be making like 100 of them or something. And the best way to do it is to just do triangles. Okay? So I did these in my wok, and I did this out on my barbecue because of the grease and everything. It's better if you can do it on the side burner of your barbecue or something, but it's a lot cleaner to do it outside. That's what I did. So as you can see, I started by just kind of folding them over and sealing them, trying different ways, which that does turn that they all work kind of fine. But the best way to do it is the little triangles. Okay, so you make the little triangles. You want to get your oil going. Um, it's hard to know how hot to do the oil. It was at 200 and something. You don't want to be full heat. You want to maybe get it on full to get it hot, and then turn it down to like a low, kind of low heat, so you don't have any fires. Start placing in your wontons, and they'll be sizzling like crazy. Make sure to flip them several times in the oil to cook the turkey meat on the inside. So it's almost like 5 to 7 minutes per batch of frying them and flipping them and frying them and flipping them, and then pull them off, set them onto some a dish with some paper towels on them to soak up the grease, and then just layer them, layer them, layer them until you're done frying them. Now, another thing, if you're going to be going to all this trouble, it's a good idea to also make some cream cheese wontons. Those are good for kind of at the end of the meal. So, with that, you just want to take a little scoop of cream cheese, plop it on the middle, do the same kind of sealing techniques with the triangles and fry those again. Now, I have had these in the past where they take like cream cheese mixture and mix it up with like bay shrimp diced up, and they make these shrimp cream cheese wontons. I had them when I was young. They are so good. I was going to try that, but maybe that'll be another recipe when I figure out how to do that. So, turned out really good. Um, this is really good for if you're having like a Christmas party and everyone's gonna bring something else. You could put these together. That's not too expensive. It just takes a long time to cook, and they turned out really good. They were delicioso. I also will cook a bunch of broccoli with this. That is good for your digestion, and the broccoli really goes with it with the soy sauce. I also will cook rice to go with this, and you could do like a little if you're gonna do like a Christmas luau kind of a thing, you could also do a couple other things. Depending on how many people you have, you could do more dishes. And it's a really good meal. Everyone will rave about it, and it turned out really, really good. So if you're having a Christmas party or a gathering and you have the time or the manpower where different people could take over the making and frying, you could get this going pretty quick. So very good dish. Try this if you can. Maybe for a New Year's party, you could even do this, and that would be really good also. So that was the second episode or the recipe from Mr. Sockavello's holiday special. Thank you for watching, and I will see you with the next recipe.
Okay, that was they were delicious looking also, and I'm sure that if you had a large number of people, they would eat them up quicker and quicker and quicker. They are very delicious, Mr. Sockavello's homemade wontons. I've had them in the past, and if you're stumped on what to make for your New Year's party, I recommend going with Mr. Sockavello's homemade wontons. It's not very expensive, but it is time consuming and takes a bit to prepare them, fry all of them, and cook these delicious homemade wontons. And it's kind of up to you what you want to fill them with. As you can see by the recipe, we had turkey, but if you wanted to do pork or a ground beef or the shrimp cream cheese wontons, that is also a possibility if you want to go down that road. Next, I thought it'd be fun if we could sit together and have a nice Christmas drink. So for that, I have some whiskey. I got Jim Beam. And I got this new kind of Jim Beam apple. And I was going to try that. That might be good. Usually these flavored drinks are not so good because of the syrupiness. And it already, I can see it's only 865 proof. So it's going to be, I don't know, maybe syrupy. But somebody left this at the Christmas party and nobody drank it. Oh, it smells like it smells like those caramel apple suckers. Oh, I don't know, dude. Okay. Oh, I don't know about this, dude. Okay, I don't know. Here you go. Christmas drinks, everybody. Merry Christmas. Let's hope that 2026 is going to be a better year. Let's hope we finally come into these great changes. Let's hope that we can turn things around and wake people up. I really pray that we can get past this slump that we're in as a country, as a people, and as a nation. Cheers to everybody. Merry Christmas. You know, it's actually not too bad. It's not too, I wouldn't drink a lot of it though. But it's all right. Whew. That is fucking harsh. I'll tell you what I like is I like regular Jim Beam. Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe at the end of the night. I like Jim Beam with Mountain Dew. So I'll have a Jim Beam and then I drink some Mountain Dew. When I was in my 20s, I drank so much Jim Beam and Mountain Dew. It's like the best combination for your drink. So, appley, you can kind of taste the apple, but I don't know. I'm always expecting something different. But it's like a sour apple. It'd probably be good with just ice and apple juice, maybe. Take some apple juice, some ice, and mix some of that apple Jim Beam. Maybe that would be good. Maybe I'll try that in a minute. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope everybody's having a good holiday season. We have a good New Year's. I'm going to do a couple more things. There's so much going on. I wanted to maybe do another news and current events, but I've kind of tore up my studio here, and I got to put all that back to the way it was. Unless people really like this kind of new format, and then, you know, maybe I'll do more behind the desk segments, and that could be fun. So I'm cooking a steak tonight. It's going to be really good. And, you know, I don't know. Cheers, everybody. Merry Christmas. Now that is a perfect combination. People wouldn't think so, but what was that? Oh, the book fell off the shelf. God damn. Get in. Oh, what the heck? Not a lot of room in this little fridge. Oh. The new book on sale now at lulu.com. The digital versions are also coming very soon. So I'm glad we had a drink and we talked about things and we've sorted it out. Mr. Sockavello has one final quick recipe for the holidays, and it is his Mr. Sockavello's Magic Cookie Bars. This is great for Christmas. It's a great kind of a treat. It's almost like you're making candy. It's pretty much like if candy was a cookie, you'd have these magic cookie bars, and I like to make those at Christmas. Sometimes I like to make a few batches and I cut them up. I do them a little different each way and I put them into little tins and give them away at Christmas time. You can do variations of them with butterscotch chocolate chips and white chocolate chips. So let's watch how Mr. Sockavello does it, and we will see you after that.
Hello and welcome back once again and one final time for Cooking with Mr. Sockavello. This is a very quick recipe and let me show you how to prepare it. So these are Mr. Sockavello's magic cookie bars. They are very delicious for the Christmas time. And here is what you will need. You're going to need one individual pack of graham crackers, one can of sweetened condensed milk, 1 cup of dried coconut, 1 cup of chocolate chips, 1 cup of walnuts or pecans. Those are optional. And you can also add butterscotch, white chips, or peanut butter chips to the top. So you're going to need a 9 by 9 baking pan, and then you're going to need a 1/2 cup of butter. Take the butter and cut it into little pieces, put it into your oven, and get it melting. Okay? Now, once the butter is melted, you're going to open up your individual pack of graham crackers and crush that into a bowl. So, once you get that all crushed up, you can pour that on top of the butter, and that makes the little crust. Then, once the butter is melted and the graham crackers are in leveled, you can then pour in your sweetened condensed milk. Absolutely. Now from here, I then add a layer of the coconut and then top it with the chocolate chips. Now here is where you could get fancy if you wanted. I added some butterscotch chips to the top on half of it. You could also top it with white chocolate chips or peanut butter chocolate chips, whatever you want. You can also mix in some pecans or walnuts before you put the condensed milk in. That's also good. It's kind of whatever you want. I've also seen where you can put in like dried sweetened cranberries or maraschino cherries. That's also very good. It's a delicious, delicious holiday dish, and it turned out fantastic. So if you have the resources to prepare this dish, it is very good. And that is Cooking with Mr. Sockavello. I will see you all next time for sure.
And they're delicious. I mean, you can't say magic cookie bars aren't super good because they are super super good. And it's not a every year thing, it's not an all the time thing. It's definitely a special occasion, kind of end of the year pig out and celebration and watching movies and having good snacks and dips and stuff like that. I made some onion dip with the sour cream with some ruffles. And it's like the last time I probably bought a bag of ruffles and dip was last Christmas. So it's definitely a once in a year kind of a thing. And then we can all come together for next year when we get back in shape, which it's a little preview, but I think we're going to start doing some types of exercise and self defense videos to empower people to build our vibrations and take our power back. So look for that come this time next year, as all of us being fit and in shape, and we can all do it together, and that will be a lot of fun. I don't know. All right, guys, we are bringing this Christmas special to an end. I had a couple other things planned, and I just couldn't get it together this year. I got a lot going on. I went last night and tried to film a Driving with MAG segment, but we drove all around trying to look at Christmas lights, but there's like not very many houses decorated for Christmas this year. and that's most likely because of the prices. $20 for a string of lights. Your house needs 10 strings of lights to kind of lightly decorate, and it's just nobody has any money. So I scrapped that. I'm going to leave you and leave us all until the end of the year with one final segment I've been preparing for a while. It is a gaming segment with MAG and Mr. Sockavello. It is a co-gaming presentation of something I've been preparing. I think you guys are going to like it. I wanted to have one final drink and say Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. Really, I really appreciate you guys. Everyone who supports this channel, everyone who bought a book, everyone who likes and comments on the videos. I see all your comments. I always try to get back to everybody. I just want to really thank you guys for supporting this channel. I always think we could be bigger and more outreached and more widespread, but we know when we are dealing with the subject matter that we're dealing with, it's hard to get out there. So if you are following me in this content, you know that you are a incredibly awake and aware person. I thank you for joining this community and following us. I hope we can expand this community and get more and more people involved, and we can really start to um, expand our consciousness to affect those of the NPCs. And that's how we can really change the frequency of this realm, is just by thinking differently, by acting differently, by looking into alternative theories and ideas. That's how we can really change our frequency, which affects so many others. And this is why they want to suppress this message, suppress those who are awake and aware. And I really thank you guys for sticking with me for all this time. I'm going to try to really get more stuff out next year and do different kinds of videos, and maybe get off of the conspiracy stuff and move into more NPC stuff, where if we can draw them in, we got the backed up research already printed out. We're going to do a lot more stuff. I'm planning on doing a What Really Happened Part 2, a continuation of this book into the next book, and presentation and documentary going on to next year. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I hope at some point we can get some kind of funding or sponsorships or something, so we can really get this message out further and further to all those people. So one final Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, guys. I love you very much. Thank you so much. I'm honored that you would watch me and even view my content and my ideas and stuff like that. Boy, that brings back memories. So Merry Christmas, everybody. I want to leave you on one final segment. This is Gaming with MAG, Gaming with Mr. Sockavello, and I hope you enjoy. Merry Christmas, guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you next year with hopefully a ton of new content. Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, everybody.